favor. Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Critscast. We're getting into the final four. It is the big leagues now. We have the last few games of the 7th ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup. It is the semi-finals. We're starting to get to the realms of defending champions. We've got revenge stories. There is so much to talk about here, and there is so little time before the game starts. We have Poland, 2019 champions, and now they come into this tournament as the favourites, the team to beat, and facing them is England. Never won a Highlander Nations Cup. They won the Sixers Nation Cup. They walked their group. They haven't dropped a map so far in this competition. Will they get revenge, or will Poland keep on trucking? I'm CeeJaey, and tonight I am joined by the one and only jakeowaty, with Core giving us production. But we can take a look at the, I think I'm going to go with the map picks first, actually. We take a look at the pick bans between the two teams. We can see the bans here. So we see Warm Tick ban, Pro Plant ban, and then we see Vigil picked. And then we see Gully Wash picked by Poland. So this first map is going to be Vigil Payload picked by England. Then Gully Wash will be the second map picked by Poland. Then we see a ban on Steel from Poland and Product banned by England, with the decider being the classic, the staple. It is, of course, Upward. So we're going to see some payloads, some 5CP and maybe double payload if we go all the way. We do have the rosters as the teams are deciding what color to start. We get those rosters up on screen.
I'm just kind of watching right now. I'm not sure if Core is going to go to this heavy fist fight that's probably going to decide who's going to start first, who's deciding to pick a place. Bart is so far winning this one, but he's going to get the clutch with the last pick onto Layla. Last punch out. And it seems that Poland will get to decide if they want to defend or attack first. Here's CeeJaey.
Some people like to attack first. Some people like to defend first. Some people prefer to change, depends on the map. You know, I do think so far in this competition, both of these teams have not been fully tested. Poland were you know, had a bit of a challenge against the Czech Republic. You know, some big names on that side. England, you know, got through the playoffs fairly comfortably so far. But this is really the biggest game both of them have had to play. As we're entering setup now. This, if you're just joining us, this is the semi-finals of the ETF2L Nations Cup number 7. This is the defending champions Poland against England, the team that they knocked out in the last edition 2 years ago. We're going to be playing on Vigil to begin with. Poland in the blue attacking first. England in the red will be defending and trying to beat that time. And yeah, Jake, I mean, I'm going to ask predictions, but I'm going to try to ask with as little bias as possible.
So my predictions for this game, I think we're going to go all the way to Upward. I think whoever picked their map first is going to win them the map. You know, naturally you're a bit more prepared. England having their pick taken away, I think was what you said, Product. That was the map that England was really good on, and Poland decided to take away that from them. So it really do enjoy the kind of mind games that go into the map prediction. It just kind of forces you to be versatile with your map picking and kind of not trying to show off your best sides on the map. You know, there's probably some handed play there when it comes to map picks and bans, but we're getting ready. The gates are down, ladies and gentlemen. The cart is slowly getting pushed, and Poland is going to be attacking first this time.
Yep, it's this is a really strange map. On the first point, I feel it's almost akin to Swift Order or even Steel. It's just very quiet, very passive. You're just kind of waiting. See Poland just going in for a few sacks, trying to get some pressure on that sentry. Karik's got that level 3, watching the sideline, just keeping Cloudy nice and safe so no one can get access to him. See Kavka and Stan just go in there trying to get something. If they get a pick, they get the sentry down, that really gives them momentum for the second point. If they get the sniper down, even better. But at the moment, everyone's just kind of staying safe on England, and really Poland, anything they get here is a bonus, and they are going to get the first huge pick. It is going to be Stingan taking down Cloudy, sniper superiority, and that means the sentry goes down as well, Jake, and the engineer, Kavka takes down Karik. This is huge.
Absolutely massive from Kvik there, and honestly it was just such a well-played offense here by Poland. They just stuck on the card, they never stopped moving. They lost a few classes. They're gonna nice super pop there to save Stan. Middles has to get away from the situation. There's a counter pop from Layla as well, but it's mostly used to just get the team out of the way. Raylan's behind the medic though, and there goes Show. A great pickup by the Spy. Bart's gonna get gunned down. No, that's Raylan's gonna go down. Bart is gonna enjoy that sandwich by himself in a corner, protected by the team. The cart is still moving forward 4 times on it right now. It really has not stopped moving, and England, even though they're getting those picks left and right, but what a great pickup there as well on Joe and UFC by BB. It's just chaos going around, but the cart, just for the first time since the gates were down, stopped moving for a second. So let's see if England manages to stabilize themselves.
Yeah, BB just ran at Joe, takes him out, and then just says, see you in spawn, or go sit down in spawn, see you in 16. So there's a bit of banter going on here between teammates. Do you see Raylan getting a pick onto Doom here, but Trooper, huge kills, takes down Karik and Middle. There's so much HP off the field. It's absolutely crushing. Stabs getting so much damage down. Layla goes down. Trooper with the 3 massive picks, and England are reeling right now. Grip is trying to get onto Gio. He's dancing around, willing maybe to go. He can't. Tursio is there for company, will help him take it down, will put out his teammate. That is going to be uber advantage. Layla is still in the spawn queue for the time being. 85-90% now for Gio, and England is still fighting here, Jake.
Yeah, they're still fighting, they're still blocking the car, but it's very dangerously close to the point, and that play by old Chupa Troops is just absolutely huge. Raylan's gonna go back with the Spycicle, but there's an Uber coming out. There's no one to stab right now. Stan's going huge right now. Takes out a few people. Kira goes down. Joe and UFC goes down. Reflect onto the right turn. Stan picks up Middle as well. They're just complete wipe with only Layla and Grip alive on the battlefield. Second point of this map is now been secured. And honestly, what a great play there by the Spy. I mean, Trooper with that very unlikely setup, with that Eternal Award, with that L'Etranger, he's just going in, gets a pick on Joe and UFC, gets that nice, cloak on him, so it's difficult to save someone because it doesn't show up in the kill feed either, and he just goes in. Layla healing him for a second. I just wanted to get it out of the way because it was just such a great play by the Spy, opening up this entire sideline, and now England is forced to set on last. They need to forgo third point. There's just too much pressure from the Polish team. Excellently done.
Yeah, I mean, Grip was there, like, chaperoning Layla back, but as soon as he went down, Chupa gets the right kill, takes down the demo. No demo, no pyro. You cannot contest that, especially when you don't have a level 3. So that third point has gone down very, very quickly. 3:25 is a fast time, but you do see a lot of fast times on this map. So this could go both ways. We've seen teams go lightning quick, attack and defense, but Poland are going in now. There is equal Ubers here. England enough time to get up their challenge. Later pops in return. They don't manage to get very many kills. Chupa goes down to the stray stickies there, but overall casualty is Barthas. So Poland just kind of pushing this cart. And the thing I feel with this point is once you get those Ubers out of the way, then it's all down to the attacking team, the team in the blue. What can they do in getting, aggressive and picking up people? Joe goes down really weak there, but BB's not able to get the kill. Karika's got that level 3 sentry up on the crates there, and that's got a good silence. It's going to be very difficult to take down.
Yeah, here's Stan watching him set up some nice sticky traps for anyone who may come through, but I don't think anyone's going to peek this corner. It's just an absolute death trap set up by the blue team here. Poland is just kind of putting pressure on the cart, trying to get it more inch forward, just give that extra bit of cover from the sniper. But here goes Sting and picks up Middle. Great there, great work done, as there's basically one less gun on the battlefield for England to defend. Uber is about to hit for show. They have this slight 20% advantage. They're going in, Stan straight up, going for the sentry. Gets it very low, gonna go down, putting some more pressure. The entire English team is just going back to spawn. They need to keep up the pressure on the card, and they do so right now. So many blue players, but the Reds coming out with the Uber of their own. Here goes Grip with massive, just W plus M1. Tries to push everyone from the card, stop it from moving forward. Gain some ground with that Uber. They're gonna get themselves 2 kills, but lost way too many in that exchange. And now it's just kind of Joe and UFC in the middle, trying to do best. What a great reflect there by Grip here. Quick goes down.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. I mean, Karik was dead, Cloudy was dead, there was no level 3, and Kafka, smells blood in the water, wants to go for that sack, but Grip just keeping his medic alive, just keeping the pressure on. And I feel a bit of a misplay from Poland there. They had the 20% advantage, like you called. They went in and later just backed out into spawn. If they'd gone straight for the medic, straight for that combo rather than the sentry, they would have probably cleaned house. They would have killed the combo. They could have taken down the sentry afterwards and then, re-pushed with the bodies. But again, they have an advantage, but they're being a little bit slow out of the starting blocks here. And Layla is going to get that charge eventually, but they are going for the opposite side. Stingan takes down Cloudy. Big backstab onto Mir. They are going to come with the counter, but there's a lot of plays going down for England here. The sentry has gone down to the 5. Karik Kiriki gets headshot as well. The cleanup subs coming in. Middle goes down, but Gio has gone down, so no heals for Poland. It's all going to be about the DM now. They take down Grip. Stan is just pumping out damage, but he needs some help. Doom is there with the sentry. Raylan, Loopy both going down. There's only 4 players left alive, but one of those is Joe. He's throwing stickies down onto Barthis, and Mir coming out the spawn is going to help with that defense. Kafka with the big rockets. Mir with the big rockets. Bit of MGE on last of Vigil there. 6:21, Jake, isn't a super fast time. I'd say that's a pretty average time on this map, and I think based on the first 3 points, Poland, despite having a time that looks on paper pretty good, they'll be saying, guys, we can go faster.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, you have to remember that they're playing against England. You know, England are not pushovers. They're not going to let Poland just walk in all the way from spawn to last without any defense. They just kind of, like, they put up a very good defense there. It was just great coordination from Sting in, from Trooper just kind of on the backside, trying to get some stabs in, some distraction. Sting with some really good headshots and body shots onto some key classes here. Layla going down there as well in the last engagement. It was just a lot of chaos. And you would think it's chaos to a very untrained eye, but to a trained eye, it was just a lot of coordination, good picks on the right classes at the right time, and essentially Poland just managed to sort of push their way forward, just basically shoulder, barge in onto the last point, you know, push this cart all the way up, this little kind of hill that it rolls down to, just keep up the pressure, and got themselves the cap. So it was expertly done. England couldn't really have asked for a much better result there because of just like how well coordinated Poland was, but with 6 minutes and 21 seconds, it is still very much anyone's game. England just needs to keep the pressure up the same way Poland did, with a few less mistakes, and that's going to be their game here.
Yeah, I mean, if they play in a similar fashion, it's going to be very difficult to, you know, hold off the time. You see this kind of strat on first, which teams seem to have. Little crit sticky placed randomly, just trying to catch maybe an important player out. Bath is there with the teleport underneath, just kind of watching for the suicides, getting some early pressure there. Will back off now and is going to get pressure pretty hard. No major players dying. Just Joe goes down to a headshot from Stingan, but again, this is the attacking team. They're just Stingan just basically just doming anyone who dares go in for a suicide. Cloudy, though, is going to get a shot onto BB. That's going to be the opening pick, but Stingan is going to get him as he's unscoping. So it's no real damage coming down onto Poland, I feel, and they don't even have a sentry watching the tracks, Jake. They're just kind of chilling passive.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about too much because there's not a lot of pressure on the cart right now. They're just kind of picking classes one by one. Sting and just amazing headshots. He's going to miss that headshot just on the foot shot there onto Joe. He's low health, but he's going to get himself back to spawn. Loopy on the back line trying to clear out some way. There's no sentry. They move the sentry back in the corner just to secure it and make sure it survives. There's a middle on the cart. It's going to get blown up there. But as a result, BB goes down to Cloudy. He's just not going to let him just sit on the cart like that. And sees that Poland decides to just kind of abandon the first point. They don't want to lose far too many players. They only lost BB here. Kafka going to go down as well, thanks to Joe. And with still majority of the players and Uber in tow, they're going to be able to secure this. Ubers are being exchanged right now in that very tight corridor. Journey's getting pushed away, separated from Layla thanks to Tercio. Tercio just doing massive work on the Pyro class. Stan now is separated himself, and now both demos are down. Cloudy finds a headshot onto the sniper through those flames. And then Tercio just like W+M1, whipping that mouse around, just trying to get as much damage possible. But it seems that England is just going to be able to kind of walk forward, keep pushing forwards. That's the best they can do right now.
Yeah, this is really dangerous territory for Poland. They need to back out. Terci's just gone down. He's down for 20 seconds now. Middle gets 2-3 kills. And the heals for Poland are still in. They don't want to give this point up for free. They do get Middle and Mir, so the 2 M's out of the equation. There's no sentry watching the cart, so it's just constant pressure from England, and Poland very brave. You know, if this works out, brave and well played. If it doesn't, they've been a bit foolish here. Karika going on a little bit of a flank. Will get taken down by a combination of Doom and BB. But yeah, Poland weathered the storm there. Respect. And it does look like England are going to come in with the Uber. Gio doesn't have it. Only 85%.
Yeah, he needs to get away from the situation. They've lost 3, just kind of trying to secure this point. But that's kind of what I really like about Polish playstyle here. They don't sacrifice themselves for the point just for no reason. You obviously want to kind of delay it as much as possible, but sometimes you throw far too many players, and as a result, you're not able to hold the next point. And right now, Poland just kind of retreating to the third. They have that Uber in tow. They don't have Doom. He just respawned. Stan is alive, though. He's going to kind of lock this place down with those stickies. Trooper in the backline, stabbing the spy. Now has a nice... Oh, a huge jump by Mir. Picks up the medic. Show drops the Uber charger. That is just massive. He's taunting, and he's gonna be picked up by Trooper as a retaliation, but I think that Mir is gonna be quite satisfied with that play.
That is absolutely huge. That is like just a jumper around. We see so many soldiers try to do this on this point, but they get denied by Sentry, by Heavy, by Air Pipes, by Reflex. But those two crisp rockets coming in from Mir, that was the difference. That's the difference. And this is England's to lose now. They've got 240 to play with. Actually, less time than Poland had to play with on last point, admittedly. But they have an uber advantage. And Mir has really opened the door here for England to try and do something. Poland getting set up on last. They have a level 3. They're playing on the far side here, maybe just trying to stop any early pressure. Stan getting his stickies down. But England have a huge opportunity to win this with one more push.
Absolutely, they're wasting time though. Show is about to hit 100%. The Sentry is slowly being built up by Doom, but he's not going to be fast enough as Uber's coming out. Huge jump by Quick on the back line. There's just Kafka just absolutely wiping house there on the back line, unprotected people who are pushing the card. Now Joe is alive. He's going to be able to still do a lot of damage onto Stan, and Turtra is just trying to save this situation from a sure disaster. Trooper finally picks up Joe. Mir goes down. Layla as well thanks to Bart flank. Middle by himself, trying to pick up a few more kills. Turcha's gonna get mowed, but he's gonna be able to survive this one, and sees that Poland stabilizes themselves, but that point is dangerously close to being capped by England. They have that 100%, however, they're gonna be able to weather at least 1 or 2 more pushes should Show survive. Mir is still on the prowl somewhere. He's gonna come in very soon.
Yeah, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. This is really clenched time. Everyone on this server is clenching because 100% for Gio. If Mir does something similar, if we see someone think from Cloudy, something from Raylan, someone who can get that Uber out just like that, it's going to be huge. But if England can't do that, they're going to have to hope that this Uber exchange works out well for them. A minute left on the clock. I can imagine them just going in for a trade. It really gets Sting, and that's going to open the door. It's a crit! In it comes, but no, the counter Uber comes in. It's all going to be on Tatersia. He's just going to try and grill. He takes down a bunch of players. Oh no, it's calamitous for England. Layla, 20 HP, has to back off here. 50 seconds. Poland don't have it won yet. They have to be careful. If they overextend and wipe, then England can still win this.
Absolutely. That crit was actually very well played there. You know, Show was in the corner. He wasn't aware. He didn't see that crits coming, but it was great communication from the Polish team. Allowed Show to survive, and the first stick he didn't actually hit the mark onto Show, allowing him to survive. So that was just very lucky. Your grip on the backline trying to make sure that Trooper goes down, and he does. 20 seconds of respawn timer is very crucial. He might not even live to see the end of this game here. And Layla is about to hit 100% on the crit streak once again. The crits is popped. There's a lot of mayhem going on. Doom goes down, but Layla gets sniped by Sting. A huge pick up there. The Uber is coming out. 8 seconds left on the clock. Stan is just everyone's getting flashed. Everyone's getting destroyed on the English team. Only 4 players up. Jordan UFC Layla, but they're all the way back in spawn. It's just not gonna be enough time for England to get this one. The first point of today's match goes the way of Poland. Wow.
Jake, for perspective, that was the first round of a best of 3 on Vigil in a best of 3 maps. This could go the distance tonight. I wonder if the crits was the right play. I feel like they had time to go in for an Uber exchange, wait for the Uber to finish off and kind of go for the repush, but you can't discredit what Poland did. You can only play against what you face, and Poland managed to do it with aplomb.
Yeah, and it was just very lucky because that crit scare came online faster than the Uber charge from Show. So, you know, they kind of knew that Layla managed to stay alive and that she didn't respawn. She probably haven't switched, which means that there is another crit on the cards, which means Show is just going to stay safe and spawn, make sure that goes off first, and survives with that 100% Uber charge, which just will give them the massive advantage over crits. Now, the problem was, you know, England didn't really have that much time to work with. They couldn't really risk. That was like the last effort they could have done, and they did it, and they did it very well. They went for the right classes. It's just they didn't expect Kafka to sort of throw away with, you know, with hope abandoned, going onto the back line, getting like absolutely everyone destroyed on the cart, and getting people off it. So even though Joe was crits, he really couldn't do much. He picked up Doom only, and that was about it. You know, you lose Engineer on defense is pretty big, but if your entire team dies, you're not going to be able to get much done with it. So first point naturally goes the way of Poland. You know, very well done by them. And we're going to see how England decides to now attack first with Poland defending, and we'll see if anything will change.
Yeah, we need a little switcheroo. England attacking first, trying to, you know, just just kind of wipe out what happened just now. This is their map choice, by the way. This is England's map choice, for those of you who aren't aware or missed out at the start. So England will be feeling like they need to at least put on a showing here, because if they get 2-0'd on this map, they're not going to be feeling too happy moving on to map 2.
Yeah, like they need to kind of get at least a point off of this, because otherwise it's just going to be kind of difficult to move on. Oh, Sting, and they're crouched and scoped onto Cloudy. Jonius trying to get his way forward. Scoped in his Cloud, he's gonna pick himself up Doom, and Raylan takes down the sentry gun. Huge pickup on the side of England, and Poland will likely have to get away from this situation because English Deluge is coming. Bart with those fists of steel, just kind of trying to buy time, surfing that freaking Sticky like a boss, and gets himself out of this situation. 3 players down the side of England, but they do manage to secure themselves the first point of this game. Sting is still fighting it. They might be able to stabilize on the second here, Poland.
Yeah, they need to at this point. They need to get Doom set up. I mean, you talk about hero shots normally going for the medic, right? But that hero shot went for the engineer, and that is huge because we've seen teams on this map, in this tournament especially, as soon as they get that sentry down on the first point, they know that there's not much resistance on the second point. But look at this aggression from Poland. They like playing this corner. They like making sure the Uber is played on that area so they can retreat to the high ground and play post-Uber fight on an advantage stand. It's just so aggressive. He got the most damage out before, and then that gives Sting and space to get something done. He gets down grip, and England are probably thinking twice now about pushing without their pirate.
Yeah, and then Trooper picks himself up Mir on the cart, making sure that it doesn't get pushed. But, you know, there's just basically 3 choke points on this point here. There's one on the side here that, you know, mostly teams will try to push from because it gives you the height advantage. There's the tunnel where the cart goes, and there's a sideline as well that you can walk in. But the Uber coming out on Joe, trying to pick up a few players, but the Poland is not gonna let this one go either, just without a fight. They're popping an Uber up their own. They trying to look for some damage on the un-Ubered players. Sting in the backline taking down the Spy, but here you goes Joe, and no more medic for the side of Poland. That will likely mean England will be able to simply just walk on the point. They lose Sting here as well. Great headshot on Turcho with a triple here, Cloudy. Great job. Stan's also going down, which means, yeah, second point is in the books right now, and England will be looking at the third one with a very nice and comfortable Uber advantage.
Pretty big, and you look at the important players who are dead. Stan and Tercio, they're up in a few seconds. Stinging as well. Those are the kind of players you want set up on third, and you know, with the buffs, they will probably get there. Oh, Joe, that's cheeky.
You were saying about these players, they're going to be visiting the respawn queue for a little while longer.
Yeah, it's like that's respawn time. That's not long enough for me. Go back for a little bit longer. Have a think. They will come in, but the Uber's coming in from England already, and this is not looking good. Bath is getting caught out in the corner, just trying to take the attention away from anyone else, and will get hit with that extinguisher. Poland don't want to keep fighting now. England kind of caught in the corner, and they're going to get cleaned up. Mir goes down, Joe goes down, Leda goes down, Chupo pulling out the L'Étranger, just cleaning up the players. Middle gets taken down by BB on the chase, trying to get as much damage as he can, and somehow Poland's just in that situation, realizing, okay, they didn't get much with that Uber. Bath has bought us a lot of time. Let's repush. We've got the high ground here, and playing it absolutely perfectly. Zhu now staying alive with 100%. Joe on the respawn now, trying to get some cap time. Raylan does get the backstab onto Sting, and England still want to fight him. Poland might need to use the Uber, and they do.
Yeah, they need to block this from rolling in. There is a little kind of downfall here. Layla, Kiri, Cloudy, Joe all going down. That very nice push, and that's just great play by Poland, making sure that it doesn't get rolled up the hill where, you know, if you roll up the hill close to the point, it's just going to get capped. And if you don't, there's this little slide where the cart will just simply go back down, reset the progress of English team, and now they're kind of back to square one. They need to kind of keep pushing players, but at the same time, there's just so much aggression from the defensive side that England is just bleeding players left and right. They cannot afford themselves to lose players and health like this. Raylan is in the backline though. He's gonna get a stab onto the engineer and take down the sentry gun. Huge pickup by the English team. And now it seems that Poland is in a bit of a trouble here. 75% Uber charge on their side, only 50 onto Layla's, but his sleep will dying left and right. What is going on?
It's Kafka. It's Kafka. He got so much damage down and realized that they didn't really have that sentry as a backup. Pops the conch, and then his team's just go forward, hold the corner. Zhu doesn't have the Uber yet. If they had the Uber, I don't doubt they would use the Uber and been aggressive like they were before. But they had the conch. They're able to use that, clear the space. England are like, okay, we're going to lose 5 players. We need to back up. Doom now trying to rebuild. Yeah, Poland's going to have to take an Uber trade, I feel.
Yeah, Uber's coming out of Layla right now. now. Show's also popping his, just flashing very heavily. Only Joe is getting flashed here, which means it's going to last a little longer, but BB is in the back line. He's going to get himself involved in this situation. Takes down 2 players for him going down to the sniper. It's a great pickup. The cart is still stuck in that little hill, slowly getting pushed, only grip on it, and not close enough as he gets pushed away. Layla's gonna get shot by Sting. No, you just cannot jump like this in an open sideline. Sting is not gonna waste a situation like this, and once again, England is without a medic. They're just stuck on that 3rd point.
That's like rubbing salt into the wound. You know, that was a really good Uber exchange. Poland just positioned themselves in a great way, cleaned up after the Ubers were over, and Stingham getting the kill onto Layla just means England go back to square one. The cart is rolled back even further now. It's down that ramp. It's rolling closer towards the choke. Stingham there on a 4K right now. Got a 5K takes on Joe and Grip.
No!
It's just, it's going from bad to worse for England right now, and you know, they need to. Gio's being aggressive. This is the only advantage you can take from this. Being aggressive with those heals may be opportunity for a pick, but again, England have to either wait for their Uber or try to go for a force here, and Raylan doesn't get the backstab.
Yeah, I was very close though, but just in time was spotted by the Pyro, and I'm just watching Sting just taking those shots left and right, and I'm just like, stop, they're already dead. It just makes no difference to them. But here comes Layla with a 100% Uber charge. I don't doubt they're gonna pop it straight away, and they do. They're going for that sentry gun, trying to take it down. There's just too much damage going on. There's a sentry, there's Uber medic with the demo man. They need to get out. They got what they wanted, which is the sentry, but now comes the retaliation from the Polish team. But they do catch Stan off guard. Show's also low on HP. They're losing players, and it looks like Poland will have to concede this point to England, just the sheer aggression coming out of the English team. They just didn't want to wait any longer. They actually kept their key classes in play, and now they're looking at the 4th point, the last point of this game, but it's already a worse time that Poland had in the 1st round.
It is, but that's more like, whoa, sorry, Kafka just went flying in, and then the reflect just comes in and deletes him. It was like a supersonic nuke there, but this is more like you expect to see on this kind of map, just constant aggression. Mir there, taking down Doom and Stan, that is huge. Joe's basically spawn camping right now. I'm not sure if Poland are going to be able to do anything about this. The cart is being pushed, BB is fighting on the flank, Tercy is there with the heals, but there's so many English players there, it's going to take a lot to sort this out. The spawns have Stand still there for another couple of seconds. It's not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to do it in time. 7:28 a minute for that last point. Or less than a minute actually. 50 seconds. 50 seconds from 3rd to 4th. This is the kind of gameplay we see on this map. This is the kind of gameplay you expect from the pushing team. Going in for Uber trades, making sure that you get the enemy's defensive Uber out of the way, maybe get the sentry gun out of the way if you can, and then just re-pushing. And because of the way that the spawns work, you're always going to be in an advantage as long as you keep trading, and that's what England did from 3rd to 4th there. It worked out really well for them, but the problem was on 3rd, Jake, is that they kept leading too many players, and like you said, this time is the worst we've seen so far. So Poland definitely will be looking at this and licking their lips and saying, we can see this out in 2.
Yeah, absolutely. They, the longer time you take to cap in the 1st round or the 1st bout of a round, the more time you're allowing the enemy team to just make mistakes and try things out. That's the point. If you have a very short time, that means the other team doesn't have that much room to breathe, doesn't have much room to kind of experiment. And the longer time it takes, the more time you have to sort of figure things out and kind of try to counter some plays. Like, for example, Mir and Kafka both just being absolute menaces on the battlefield. You want to make sure that, your sidelines, your sidelines as well, are both covered, because otherwise you risk yourself, losing your medic, losing your sniper, losing your engineer. And on that last point, I would say Mir was just absolute MVP. Taking out the demo and the engineer and the sentry at the cost of his own life was a very worthy trade. But we're down to this kind of 3rd bout. Trooper's just going to get immediately annihilated by Joe. Quite easily done. Your BB comes in with that bong, just kind of try to scope things out. He's gonna distract some people just enough for Stinger to pick himself a headshot onto the heavy weapons guy. And Loopy's on the flank as well, looking for some trouble. And he Bart with the Fist of Steel, the classic coming out to push this card. The sentry's gone down as well. Cloudy is sniping in, but no, Stinger's gonna be faster on the draw. And the card is still slowly but steadily pushing forward.
Yeah. Oh, they actually get forced here. Gio goes down to about 11 HP. I think that was Loopy who just ran in there and managed to get the force. So that's pretty huge. England now only 4 players alive. Make that 3, 1 on the respawn. Still technically 4, but I don't think they can hold second. They have to back off. They have an Uber advantage, but they can't get anything. Jupiter picks up 2. He gets Karik. The sentry goes down. He gets Cloudy. Layla is the only person left alive on the team, and Jupiter chases her all the way into spawn. Oh my word! No, he did just not do that.
That is absolute filth. That is literally, I need to take a shower after this because he just snipes Layla in spawn with full Uber charge in tow. That is absolutely massive for Stingen and absolutely massive for the Polish team. They just got themselves a second point so easily. They still have 6 minutes left, and England is kind of in tatters right now. Show's about to hit that 100%. Layla is nowhere near close. They really need to put all their cards in that last point, or because otherwise the third is in jeopardy right now. If the Uber charge doesn't get forced, it's just going to be very difficult for them to stay there and stay alive. But Stan coming with the Uber charge, picking up middle, looking for the sentry gun. Sentry's still alive and taking a long time, but Trooper's in the back line just taking lives like there's nobody's business, and the entire English defense is once again down.
Yeah, it's inexcusable, really. I mean, shout outs to Karik and Grip. They did so much work there. Karik wrangling his little heart out, and Grip just air blasting, mounts 2, just providing the space for their team to get out. And Joe and Layla stay in and get double backstabbed. I mean, it's that's giving you a chance. Your team, your support classes are there, giving the important players a chance to live, a chance to fight another day, and it's not taken. And again, Poland find themselves with an advantage. Middle being cheeky does take down Barthes. Stan and Kafka both going down, so a little breathing room for England right now, but there is still an advantage, a meaty advantage. You're talking like 30% here, so they can wait for the respawns, Jake, and they could just go in and see this out in the next minute or so.
Yeah, they need to really work on their Uber because Layla is really quickly catching up, but it might not be fast enough. But Show has 100%. They lost Trooper there on the back line, but they're just nowhere near close, honestly. They should have pushed as soon as they got it, but they're doing it right now. They still have a bit of a breathing room. They're going for Layla right now. They're trying to just mow her down, and they do. That Uber is gone and forgotten. They lose Kafka, they lose Tercha and Stingen, but there's a few players down on the side, and most importantly, the medic is down too, but they've lost too many players in this push, and Cloud is just taking heads left and right. Trooper is back online, but he's on fire. He's not gonna live for far too long here. Doom's also building a sentry gun, level 3 on the sideline, just to make sure that those side flankers just do not bother his team. And yeah, it looked very promising, just didn't quite work the way they really wanted. They lost Show there. Layla went down, but it was just simply not enough. And now both Ubers are pretty much equal loop. He's just building Uber charge with Layla. They really need to solidify themselves on this point because 4 minutes to hold this very short stretch of land is just a difficult task, CeeJaey.
It is, but Cloudy's starting to pop off here, and he takes down Stingen. And this is where, you got your backs against the wall. This is when you need your big players to step up. You need your Loopies, you need your Joes, your Cloudies to start just winning those fights, winning those 1v1s, getting the kills. Mir's on a 3k right now. Takes down Chupa, takes down Kafka. This is what you're talking about, but here come Poland. They have the advantage again. Layla's only at 90%. She backs off all the way towards spawn, and this Uber is not a good one from Poland. They lose Tercio, Stingan, Barthes, Doom, Mir even getting in on the whipping action to take down a player. And Poland having to back up here with the tail between their legs. They still have 3 minutes left on the clock. This is still very much, Poland's advantage. Again, 20% advantage as they used earlier there. But Joe desperately trying to, just throw stickies at the wall and build because he realizes that Poland are abusing these advantages. And, like I said in the first round, Jake, Poland made a bit of a mishap on that first push. When they had an advantage and they didn't go for Layla, they focused the sentry. They're doing the right thing this time. They're going straight for that combo, trying to win as many kills as they can and then clean up everything else later.
I just witnessed some murder happen. Trooper using BB as a distraction and then just taking Mir with a very easy stab. But Uber's coming out of the blue team. You're Joe and UFC on 6 HP. He's going to be able to get away from this situation. There's a lot of damage being dealt to the red team. Layla's still without the Uber charge. He's going to get it now. Pops immediately just to make sure it does not go to waste. Stan is still alive, still dealing damage there on the side, but he's going to get cleaned up. 4 players alive for the side of Poland. Looks like England once again, they're just putting their foot down, making sure it does not happen. But the card, look at the card, it's so far up there. It's very close to getting capped, which is actually kind of dangerous for the English team. One more good push from the Polish team, and that might be it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of map where you go in for the You go in for the trades. Kafka goes in for the sack, and he's just going to get denied. But BB is down on the car. Oh my word, they almost get it in. It's millimeters away just by the distraction of that bomb in by Kafka. Everyone was like, hey, don't worry, Layla's fine, but they don't focus the objective. And now middle has to stand on the point. Jupiter uncloaks, trying to go for something sneaky. Doesn't manage to happen, but they've got it up that ramp. They've got it across. It's so close now. Gio goes down though. The pipes from Joe, and we're approaching the minute mark here, Jake. This is so close. Layla has a full Uber advantage. The car is so close, but Poland, they're not done yet. They still have to get it onto the point.
Yeah, it's very close. BB's just kind of throwing his life away for the cart to make sure it doesn't roll back. It's very important, but here comes Cloudy with a nice headshot on Kafka. Those flankers just don't have any air to breathe. Mir with some premonition takes out Super Wild, at least finds him out, but it does take out Bart as a consolation prize. He's still on the prowl. That black box just keeping him alive for so long. BB once again in the middle, trying to get this cart stopped from moving back. The conch coming out on Nier is going to give them extra speed boost. 38 seconds left on the clock. The Ubercharge is ready on Layla. Show's building his. I think at this point, if I was Show, I would just pick up quick fix, make sure I cannot be pushed away from the cart. Go for any Joe so the bulk damage does not happen. But Clody just takes down Stingen. 20 seconds left on the clock. Mir trades with Kafka. Crits is coming out, but it's not fast enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Tercio on the point, but he's going to get cleaned up. 10 seconds left on the clock. England are going to win this. Jupiter tries to get on the point, but there's not enough Polish players left alive. They've managed to hold last point for over 3 minutes. And despite getting it so close, it's not going to be enough. England will take the second round, tie things up here on Vigil 1-1. We will be going to a golden cap. And that did not look like it was going to go England's way there. But like I said, when your backs are against the wall and the big players need to step up, that's exactly what they did.
It was just not enough, and something just kind of lacked on the Polish side, and England played just way too well. They weren't making any mistakes. They were finding the spy. They were finding the sidelines as well from those flankers, just kind of defending them. It just worked out. And now we're down to third round, the first map. I have a feeling it's just going to be kind of a theme for today's game, really.
This is going to go on for a while. I think it's important for England, at least in their minds, to win this map. Because if they go to Gully Wash map down, I think they're going to be, they'll be morally kind of a little beat up after that.
Higher kill count on the Polish team, but they did lose that one. Then more heals onto a Layla than actually Show, which is interesting. Show also dropped once, where Layla has not dropped a single Uber, so that just kind of comes out better for them. And naturally, when it comes to kind of medic picks, it's going to be Stinga with 2 medic picks, and the one of them was just in-spawn Layla pick. That was just very unfortunate for Layla. I do not blame her for doing that. It was definitely the team kind of like opening the door, not expecting Stinga to be this far forward, but what a great play by the Sting God himself.
Yeah, I mean, you can criticize her for dropping like the entire team, because at some point, what's the saying? Like, good medics drop Ubers, bad medics drop players. If you have an Uber but your entire team dies and you're the only one alive, that's not a good situation you want to find in. So maybe there you could question an Uber should have been used, but you can't fault it for going into the spawn. Like, I don't think you can fault anyone, really. I mean, the game is Spawn and they walk out the door. You're not expecting, of all people, Stingan to be that far forward. So we'll have to see what happens. There is a smiley face on the wall from Stan. He's feeling good. Any smilers in chat? Because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Throw in some smiles, some C-Shreks if you have them.
Let's leave those ones out of the equation.
No, throw in some C-Shreks for me at least.
We're live, Jake. We're live. We've got England versus Poland.
Yeah, teams are coming out. We have Nier on the direct hit, making sure that like the sentry goes down. Joining gets picked up immediately by Sting. He's not gonna wait around anymore. He picks up Nier as well, so direct hit is off the charts. Cloudy low on health is gonna get picked up by Bart. Bart's just excellent position here. It's just such a good position for Heavy to be in. You just get so much like sightline and fire, and that downside of being just a big man on the battlefield is countered by that nice little lip that you can hide behind. So he's just doing great work. Middle is on fire, but he's gonna get extinguished, and so is Mir by Grip. Grip's doing good work, but the point is still in their hands. Trooper with that Spycicle, he's gonna get burned away anyway by Grip. So the Pirates doing amazing work. Oh, Joe gets picked up there by Stan. The sentry's no longer on the first point. They want to make sure that the second gets held, because the second point, almost losing my words here, is much more difficult to push than the first one. So they're just going to let this one go without a single Uber chart pop from either team.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a standard first point. Defending team gets a few kills. Attacking team, you know, gets pressure. Both teams escape. Defending team has their sentry up. Both teams have Ubers, but it's going to be all about Stan. Stan is the most important person, I feel, on this point, and it's going to be a really early Uber coming in from England. Tercia just air blasting mid, just jumping over the top, getting some pressure down. Will get taken out, but did turn some heads there. Now Cloudy's got a little bit of space to, you know, take a peek. Can he get anybody down? Chupa's just watching, waiting for his moment, and there isn't that much pressure from Stan. I told you, Stan's the most important. He does manage to get Loopy, but Cloudy gets Tercio. Stinghand gets Joe. Chupa gets the middle. There's a lot of big names going down here, and now Stan gets back into that position, but Cloudy is quick on the trigger, takes down the Demo Man, and with no Tercio and no Stan here, Jake, England have a lot of space they can claim.
They can probably try to push and dry without a Uber charge, maybe throw away some more people. They have the advantage, but no, Layla just going to the side of Sting, and Sting just claims her like that. Joe also gets body shot, but with no heals on the battlefield, it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything with this advantage that they managed to claw themselves out. And Stan comes back from spawn with the medic in tow. Joe and UFC separated. Stingen just kind of popping middle in the body and then in the head. Stan is objectifying Stan, or Stan's objectifying Joe is what I mean. He's in a bit of a trouble there with the scout, but he gets helped out by the engineer. So Doom does save his teammate from certain death on 22 HP, and Poland still holding on strong on that second point.
I feel this point is one of the most important points on this map, because third, I feel, is very difficult. Like, an attacking team can push it, just keep trading. Stinger's on an 8k right now.
Oh my
my word. He's most amount of points on the server at the moment. But yeah, this second point, you can be aggressive. Gio's actually getting aggressive with his teammate. The Uber's going to be used. They're really aggressive. Grip's there to try and deny it, and this is not going well for Poland. Tercia is in the skybox. Layla just go down though. Barthius with the sandwich. It's an absolute crush here. Players are dying left, right, and center. I think it's going better for England, actually. And Gio will go down very late on. The sentry goes down. Doom was trying to carry it away to safety, and that's nearly a wipe coming in from Poland. They got aggressive, but Grip was crucial there. He just kept them away from danger.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a bold play, and it worked out in the beginning. They managed to get Layla, but England is just like, okay, well, we're just going to walk on forward and kill off your entire team. That's what happened exactly. Now, Joe FC is putting pressure on the enemy team here. Show has a disadvantage when it comes to Ubers. He's going to get a lot of damage onto himself, though, because the majority of the Polish team just managed to respawn in time all together at the same time. And now they're going to solidify themselves on that third point, make sure that no one comes through. Raylan is going through the sideline here, trying to look for some picks on the side. Middle in the underground, just kind of protecting the team. Oh, but Show is just so overextended. He's going to go down there to Joe and UFC, who picks up Turchu as well. Tuber on the side, tries to get Cloudy, maybe equalize a bit, but no, Middle is there, just coming from underground and just basically mowing down Barthes, and this just does not look very promising for the Polish team. They're gonna lose third point. They also don't have the Uber charge ready at all, and Layla has 100%. This is looking very bad for them.
You have to question how Joe was able to get so aggressive there, put out so much damage, you know, including getting the stickies onto Gio and not die. He backed up to the car, just healed up, was still alive, hasn't died since then. You know, it's there just where was the pressure from the Polish players? They're not there. Now they find themselves 70% behind. The Uber's going to come in from England very, very early. The car's actually not even rounded the corner yet. They're getting close to the spawn, but Gio is going to be well protected. Layla goes down to BB, and Poland now doing this stereotypical thing they love to do, just collapsing, getting aggressive despite everything that's going on. But Loopy comes in, he gets one, he gets two. It's on a 7k, he's taking out BB and Tercio. Barthes is now kind of out of position, but manages to cheekily surf away and stay alive. And Poland are still fighting this, but England, they still want to press W.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you don't have much to lose, right? You lost Leyland that last engagement you had, which is kind of stranded forward. You just might as well push the card as far forward as you possibly can, and that's what they've done. The sentry has not really stopped them from doing so, and the card is very dangerously close to the last point. Joe and UFC kind of by himself, but he's just been joined by Layla, just getting those heals, crucial heals back up. Stan's gonna have a little duel with Joe, but Joe comes out on top, but unfortunately, he goes down to a pill that was just laying on the floor. Unfortunate for the demo man, but definitely a very worthy duel. Nonetheless, Mir on the sideline as well, just causing a lot of trouble, getting shot by Trooper. Trooper's gonna go down thanks to Loopy, who's there supporting. just a lot of mayhem, a lot of side activity going on because, well, England wants to kind of get themselves in the right position to push this one. They have Layla on 100%, but so is Show. They're missing 2 players. Uber's coming out on Joe, focusing on that sideline. Uber's coming out much later for Show. The sentry's gonna go down, but there's a lot of players still left alone. Layla is low on HP. She's gonna go down, and the entire English offense just been destroyed. Joe on the side just kind of throwing his life away, looking for those extra picks, but doesn't manage to get anyone. And Poland with full HP and with full roster back on the battlefield.
I mean, you underestimate Kafka at your peril. Like, it's, hang on, middle. Oh, he almost boxed Sting out to death. He does die in the end. Middle kind of like punched him into backstab range for Raylan. So middle coming in with the cheeky plays there. But Kafka's conch there meant that the ground taken by Poland was so much more. They had the speed boost, and because they Ubered later, they were able to chase, and that's why it worked out so well. You know, the conch just working absolutely perfectly there. But it is equal Ubers despite all of this. Bath is on a 6 here now in England. I've got a lot of cap time. They got a lot of presence on this last point. They're losing players, but they're getting pressure. Layla's down to 14 HP. She's at 95%. She's so close. Has to be careful she doesn't die here, but it looks like at the moment they're winning. They will use the Uber. Gio just trying to stand on the point to block it for a little bit longer. The spawns for Poland are coming in. BB's there. He's just standing on the point blocking it. They're going to take down Layla. They're coming in. Will they get the count? Yes, they will. Whew. And it's about the same time, Jake. Oh.
Absolute mayhem. What just transpired, I just have no words for, really, because there's just so much chaos happening. But at the same time, it's just excellently played by English team, just kind of bleeding players one after another, sending them back to the respawn queue. And, you know, Show just trying to save the cart with the Uber charge, but getting pushed away by the Pyro. So excellently played there by the English Pyro grip. Doing a very good job pushing people away, making sure they cannot stop this from going in. And with the last drags of the Uber charge, they managed to kind of get the players down. Excellently played, and managed to get themselves a pretty similar time as the last time. But now Poland will try to kind of see what happens. I mean, they have the same, let's just repeat from the last round. They just need to see if the same strategy is going to work, or they're going to switch it up. I am not quite sure. They've been very good on the first 3 points, the last point being kind of shaky. So we'll see if this is going to be the theme for this game as well. Remember that England, well, it's their pick. They kind of want to win them this one, and that's what they're playing for right now.
Absolutely. I mean, if Poland push in the kind of pace they did on the first round, they win. You know, they take them out. But if they do it like they did in the second round and England play defensively like they did, then England are going to win. It's really that simple. It's that close. This is a very similar time to that second round. England's, anyone makes a mistake, it could be very, very costly. But if Poland don't amend their strategy from round 2, then they might also struggle. So we'll have to see what happens. In comes the suicides. Kafka and Stan are in deep. Whoa. A lot of damage onto Cloudy and Karik, but only casualties actually... Oh, actually, they lose Grip and Joe. Demo and Pyro down.
That was actually quite huge. I mean, you would not think that's huge because they lost far too many players as themselves, but the respawn time for the blue team is very short, and now they're just capitalizing on this, taking out so much defense on the side of England with this amazingly coordinated push from the Demo Soldier and Trooper as well. It's just going to be a bit disastrous for England. They're still struggling with Kafka on the back line, just kind of juggling him around with Grip, making sure he does not touch the ground. This Trooper on the sideline, he's going to go down, managed to get himself revealed. The sentry is only now being built up from level 1 by Kirik. He needs to start working on it much harder. Level 2 now. Here comes BB. He sees a lot of death up on that hill. And there comes the Uber charge from Poland as well as England. They need to get out of the situation. They managed to force it out, which is pretty good. That's what they want. But at the same time, they're going to probably lose a few players, and they do. 3 players down, and Show is down as well. So that's all she wrote for this push, and for the next at least a minute.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good cleanup from England there. Raylan came in and got 2 backstabs as the Polish team were retreating. England not really having any casualties. They were just having people watching every angle. Middle was watching the tunnel. So trying to get some, you know, cheeky cap time. Didn't work out because you got a fully spun up heavy watching it. So Poland back to the drawing board here. They have to think of a different strategy, or at least wait for their Uber and try again. They don't have that much of a disadvantage really. Layla kind of healing people near the dispenser, so that's going to naturally build slightly at a slower rate. So she was at 60%, Layla at 85%. You can call it basically equal Ubers, but England very, very passive here. They don't really want to peek.
Yeah, absolutely not. The stun comes in huge, and Layla goes down, and the sentry is still up and running, but the Layla going down is huge. Show is on 90%. He's lost a few players to help him with, but yeah, he's just gonna kind of chill for a second, wait for the respawns, and go back in with that full Uber advantage. Huge play by the damaging classes of the Polish team. Now, Cloudy will pick himself up a sting, and Bart is on the side by himself, and seeing his teammate die like this, he just nope. He just walks away. Uber's coming out just straight into nothing because there's nothing to pop against. Coming in on the sentry gun. Sentry gun is still excellently managed by Kirik, but finally goes down after a lot of effort for the Polish team. They've lost 3 players, however, that's a lot. But Layla goes well. Layla is alive. She's gonna be able to save herself with that small advantage. Cloudy's gonna get picked up. Nice juggle there by Kava, and then BB picks up the kill. They managed to break through the defense, CeeJaey.
They did, and it's because of the huge play from Stan. And we've already said, you know, on payload, medics kind of like to sit in the dispenser using that body armor, but it is a big target, and if you put enough damage in that one place, it's gonna not go too well. England dropped 3 players in quick succession there. 50-second respawn. There's a lot of damage on the players that are alive. Joe gets backstabbed by Chupa. Karik is desperate trying to build up another sentry. Chupa is still behind enemy lines. They lose grip as well. Layla, Karik, they're all going down. It's a crunch. And again, Jake, England get caught in this corner without an avenue to retreat from. And Poland find themselves. This is an exact repeat of the 3rd round. Exactly the same thing happened to England on 3rd as they tried to back out. Exactly the same thing happened with Poland. They have 100% Uber advantage over England, pushing into last with 3 minutes to go. It is a carbon copy of round 2.
This is disastrous right now. Show with 100%. Layla only building herself up with to 20% stun on the sideline. Finds Joe with a nice pill. Joe surfs away to safety. Show on half health, but he's gonna kind of stay alive. Kava on the backline. There's a lot of damage onto the medic, but medics hold onto the Uber charge. Show just being protected well enough, and England pays with 2 lives of their own. Mir and Loopy, the flankers, are going down. Stan coming from the side. No one's there to contest. Uber's coming out. They're trying to jump in, but Kirik is just pushing them with the sentry gun. There's a lot of damage being exchanged. They lose the pyro. They lose the sentry gun. Cloudy's just surfing away, but he's gonna get caught off guard by Stan. There's just a lot of death, a lot of damage being exchanged. Layla on the 90%. She just needs to get that Uber charge up and running, but there's just so many players on the point right there. They're throwing players left and right, and there's only 3 players alive. Layla comes out with the Uber charge. Only Joe to Uber, but they're just not gonna do much. But just sitting there on the card and blazingly eating a goddamn sandwich with hope abandoned. Layla low on HP. She's gonna go down, and the Uber does not come online, and Poland wins the 1st round of this game. CeeJaey, what a game that was.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me take off my caster hat and pop on my analyst hat, because I have to give a shout out to both heavies there for the abs. We had Brain versus kind of Brawn. I don't know. We had the Brain from middle sitting in the window above the tunnel. There's an Uber going on by Poland. They're destroying everything, but middle just guns down anyone who tries to cap the car. He kills 2 or 3 people, and Poland can't push the car. They have to back up with their Uber and like retry to get them. So middle almost bought his team some more space and time. It bought enough time for Layla to get the Uber, but then Bath is just stood on just the Chad move of standing on the car eating a sandwich is enough to kind of just, I don't know, that was just kind of like, I don't care. You either have to kill me or kill other people, but I'm going to be here for a while yet. We got some meaty combined looks here, dude. These, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. If you stack it by damage, you stack it by kills, both demos are at the top. You know, Stan with the 58 kills, Joe with the 46. This is in 46 a minute. So 46 minutes, sorry. So Joe's getting a kill a minute, Stan above a kill a minute. Both of them with crazy amounts of damage. Stan with the 527, Joe with the 463. They're both pumping out crazy amounts of damage, but they're both getting a lot of kills as well.
It's not really about you playing amazingly well, because you expect both teams to play well. It's more about trying to get the other team to make the first mistake and then exposing that weakness as much as you possibly can.
Absolutely. Well, we're now on to the second map. This is Poland's choice. This is the second map of the ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup. Number 7, defending champions Poland took England's map pick, Vigil, 2-1. We're now on to their map pick, their home turf. They're in the blue against England in the red. And the first kill of the game is going to go to Kafka. He takes down Joe. Loopy gets headshot. And Mir gets taken down by Tertia. That's a triple kill for Poland. Right out the blocks. Only trading Kafka for all of that damage. And kills. And Poland are already pushing big door. They're already getting in. Stinger takes down Cloudy. They got... mid-capped already, and England, they're in trouble here. They're stuck on top of the point.
That's absolutely crucial here, because you have to remember the Vigil was England's pick and Poland won. Now this is Poland's playground, Poland's turf, and they're just absolutely showing a trooper with a nice kill onto Joe, looking for Mir, but they didn't quite get it. Stan is just cleaning house. Uber's coming out, you know, they don't have to worry about too much. They did finish up Layla thanks to Turcho, so they have that advantage still up and running, even though they just used the Uber charge. Second point has been capped. 4 players down for the side of Red. Stan jumping on the point. He's gonna get himself cleaned up, but that means that Red will have to keep throwing players away on the point. There are 3 players up. Raylan on the point with Kafka. Kafka's gonna go down. It's an absolute mayhem right now. People throwing themselves left and right, but the problem is that England will have the respawns much faster than Poland ever will, since they have such a long way to go, and that ultimately has managed to work in their favor. Middle coming in, mowing down Sting, and was just caught off guard without his team to support him. And now England finally managed to kind of catch a breath and look forward to the second point. They're putting some pressure onto it, but Show has that advantage in the bank. He might actually use it as soon as he gets it.
Yeah, they don't have Stan or Tercia, and those are 2 players you kind of want to stop the pressure, but Kafka and BB are just there, and Kafka manages to take down Joe, and that's really going to stop anything. If you know anything about Joe-led teams, you don't have Joe, you don't really push. Middle is doing a great job denying people from getting any high ground and just shooting people and buying his team a lot of time to maybe get out. And Gio actually drops. It's the backstab from Raylan. It's an absolute collapse here from Poland. They've lost 4 or 5 players. And that drop means Layla now has 100% Uber advantage pushing into mid.
Yeah, absolutely. They will be able to get this mid without any issues. Stan getting caught off guard from middle, who just comes in. He even heard him coming. He just didn't move. You expected that. It's going to work out for him. You know, I'm safe. I have my stickies. It just didn't quite work out. Mir's going to catch Trooper as well. Kind of unfortunate. Middle is going to get capped fairly soon. This is going to be very confusing, this game, I believe, with the heavy weapons guy for England and the middle point having the exact same name here. Joe and UFC chasing Stinging away from the choke point, but Kafka coming in, looking for Layla. 1 rocket, 2 rockets, and gets the force. Layla surfs her way to the health pack, so she does survive, but it could have been disastrous. She does lose that amazing advantage she had and didn't quite use it on anyone else but Kafka himself, which means now Poland is going to be the one playing and dealing the cards.
Yeah, Grip and Joe just seem to be constantly getting picked off and dropped from these Ubers, which must be extremely frustrating for them. But Poland's focusing those players, making sure they're not available. Bath is kind of taking names right now, picking off players. Both heavies going pretty big, and again, Poland kind of positioning themselves towards big door. Joe and Layla in middle, they're very close, and in comes the BB Uber. He's going to go straight towards those players. Kafka comes in from choke. He's going to get 1 rocket, 2 rockets. Is he going to get another? He does finally take down Layla. He took 3. Poland now trying to collapse on those players around Rock. It's not looking good. Only 3 alive. Stinger gets taken down by Karik. He's just like, you're not coming into lobby yet. Just yet, Sunshine. But Poland now, with a lot of picks here, could push now, Jake.
Yeah, it means just working out for them. They need to kind of like stop a little bit. You know, the aggression in the first bit of that round was really good, but right now all they have to really do is just solidify and build that Uber charge. They have the nice advantage, but Layla's also in spawn, so they're gonna just build with Loopy very easily. Joe and UFC just comes in, tries to scope out the lobby area. There's a lot of bodies there, a lot of bodies to take on damage, and they're all clumped up. So Stam coming in, he's gonna take a lot of damage. He needs to stay alive for this engagement. The next upcoming engagement, the show has 100% in the bank, 50 onto Layla. If they want to push, they have to push now. Turcha finds Joe on the side. He's low on health. He's gonna go down thanks to Loopy, but they do pick up Joe, and that's huge. Uber's coming out, forced away by Mir and Raylan. Good pickup there. The sentry guns built up by Keurig. They're chasing. Doom is just walking in and taking shots in the butt. He's gonna survive. Bartis is just sneaky from below, takes down Grip. That's great pickup. No more pyro on the point, but he's alone and he's all by himself. Middle gets the heals and he's just kind of walking back. He just knows the doom is coming. Is that Thomas Live is not gonna win this one? He does not. Middle comes out on top and secures the point a little while longer. Now, meanwhile, Layla on 100%, Show only on 30 and missing a lot of his team. This is gonna be very difficult for them to hold second. I think they're just gonna have to go away all the way to middle if that is the best case scenario for them.
Yeah, that's really poorly played by Poland. They have this Uber advantage. Stan gets picked off, and they have a choice. Do they wait for Stan on the respawn or do they go without him? They decide to try and go with Tercia, and then they drop Tercia. They're like, okay, let's back up. And then they get forced anyway, and it was really, really poor. But England using this Uber on big door are going to absolutely destroy anybody who was even thinking of residing their grip there with the extinguisher. Just showing a little bit of flair there, getting a flare jump and then an extinguisher kill. Cloud is going to pick up Stinger, but most importantly, Gio does live. And that does mean Poland do have an advantage here, and they do have their players. They have their full quotient of combo players ready to push, and maybe this is their chance.
Yeah, they're popping the Uber charge immediately. Stan coming in, balls to the wall, literally, but he's gonna get picked up by middle there. He just turns around and is like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere for any further, buddy. They do pick up Trooper as well, who's trying to look for some backs to stab, but looks like the Uber charge just gone completely wasted. They lost 4 players in that engagement. The middle still belongs to the side of England. Kafka on the, like, basically just taking up the spot at the top. They're building the Uber charge as fast as they can, but they know that Layla has that advantage. Sting's gonna get caught off guard, but no, Junior FC just trying to predict where Stingen moves, but I don't think Stingen knows where he's gonna move, so he just misses all the pills there, and Joe survives. Stingen does, unfortunately for him, die. Now, back on the defense is Poland, just going back and forth, this tug of war, CeeJaey.
Yeah, honestly, like, okay, here come England. Let's focus on this. They dropped a couple of players. And the counter Uber's going to come in, and I think this is going the way of Poland. Yes, they're going to pick up, Doom with the panic attack, takes down Layla. And the only person they really dropped there is Tertia. But at the moment, Poland looking pretty shaky. The push into mid there with the Uber was quite frankly awful. Like the Uber in Stan, he jumps forward, then Gio drops off the point kind of willingly to flash BB, but then everyone kind of gets picked off, and Tertia was 10 HP the entire fight and couldn't get involved. So I feel like Poland are kind of rushing things right now. They're maybe just thinking, okay, things aren't, we were rolling in the first 30 seconds, things aren't going perfectly for us, and they're kind of rushing, but big backstab, huge advantage. If they settle down now, this is a round to be won for Poland.
Oh, my hair stood up on my neck after this one. That was just so filthy, because Joe was literally like there with Layla and just looked away for just 1 millisecond. That was enough. Nice pickup there by Joe. However, he does reclaim his own might by taking out Stan and Kafka, but he's gonna go down, and Trooper on the backline takes Layla again. Just making sure she does not leave spawn. They do lose a lot of players there, and Show is on the middle right now with Cloudy just fully scoped in. Bit afraid to look out. Look at this. Doom just losing his head on account of Medic. Show needs to get out of the situation. Loopy is alive. He's gonna try to get out. Kafka just need to jump away. No, you don't. No, you do not. The body just goes limp midair, thanks to the spy. Now Trooper's gonna understab middle. Just luckily, I think middle knew there's a spy, just didn't know what to do. Bard coming in huge, and Trooper's there looking for Layla again. Gets a few shots into her, but Trooper, no, he's gonna go down to me. Just absolute mayhem going on. Pigs going left and right, but it seems that Poland manages to clench this one once after all. They do manage to kind of secure themselves, and they're capping that second point, even though the middle is almost, or has almost been done.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we said this now? Like, this is an opportunity for Poland to seal out a round. We're approaching the 10-minute mark, really, and they could have had one within the first 60 seconds. So, really aggressive play here from England, almost playing in lobby, but they're backing off. It's going to be a river push stand, jumping and gets pushed back by Grip. It's all going to be out to BB to get some damage. Grip's doing an amazing job of just denying. They dropped 2 players here, but to make that 3, Gio gets taken down by Loopy. They're getting more, but they don't focus the camp. The objective just gets taken underneath the England noses, and they were doing so well in denying the players, and they don't focus the objective. Finally, Poland getting around on the board here, Jake, but England were kicking themselves. It looked like they were winning that.
Yeah, absolutely. They were definitely winning that fight, but they just could not secure themselves well enough. They picked up Tertia there on the side, and that was just a great pickup. No more medic on the last point. It's just so crucial of a pick. Such a crucial of a pick, but we're basically down to the second round. The players are not wasting any time. Loopy gets picked up here by BB. And then basically just a lot of damage being exchanged, but not a lot of kills. Raylene picks himself up. 1 kill by Stingen, equalizing with a pickup on Joe. It's a great pickup as well. Middle comes in with the medic, but Mir is just gonna get mowed down by Bart, and that his Thomas lap Tertia W plus him on a spy. Cloudy zoomed in, but he has that mini surgery to worry about. Stinger's just head glitching there, takes down Cloudy, and Layla getting mowed down by Bart, who's just sitting there taking those arrows from the medic, just getting constantly healed up from 100 HP to 200. The only 2 players up for the English team. Almost the entire team for Poland and Stan are just alive and kicking. At that 100% charge means they're just going to be knocking on that last door any second now.
Yeah, I mean, it's reminiscent of that first kind of mid-fight, really. Just slowly, this was less kind of fast. It was more slowly gripping the pressure. And, you know, just taking every inch of life out of the English mid-fight. And Kafka picking off Joe there. He's in the spawn queue for another 18 seconds. That is huge. No stickies on the point, no traps to worry about. Sting and gets loopy. Cloudy going for a hero shot. Doesn't quite manage to make it connect. But Bath is making his way into water. The Uber comes in through river. It's a rinse and repeat. And Stinger gets the kill onto middle. So that's a lot of HP off the battlefield. 4 down. Joe is going to spawn, but not in time. And Poland just go towards the point. I mean, if you're an important class, Jake, you've got to stay alive. And I feel like, you know, losing your demo that early on when you're about to receive, you have no traps, no stickies on the point. Poland taking 2-0 and starting to get a real control of this map.
Yeah, and it's just kind of not looking very good for England. They need to start putting themselves on the board. They lose a lot of players early on and just keep bleeding all the way throughout, which is just so dangerous of a situation, and especially against Poland, who are just like not really making that many mistakes. Mir on the sideline picks up Doom with a nice few rockets here. Stan on the quickie bomb launcher, making sure he gets that extra bit of damage early on with those quick activations. And Grip just going on the point, trying to push some people off into the gutter. Not gonna be enough. Show, however, getting caught off guard, and so is Stingen. Mir doing amazing work on the sideline, and Layla stays alive, and only Doom and Trooper on the point right now. Trooper's gonna get found out as well. Only Doom alive for the Polish team. England once and for all really managed to survive that middle fight, gets 100% Uber advantage, and they're knocking on that second door point already. Poland, however, is playing with 1 player down. I'm not sure what's happening. We might be seeing a pause coming out very soon.
I think Kavka left. He's just rejoined the server, and he's just rejoined the team.
Go.
So he's back in action, but much better from England. I mean, Joe died early, but he made so much damage and space going across the point. That's what you want to see from your team. You want to be aggressive and everyone to be doing the same thing. Everyone needs to be singing from the same song sheet there. And England did really well. And this Uber advantage was huge. It's not that huge anymore. Zero's on 75% right now. England coming in, they lose mid, but they take down Doom and Kavka. They're trying to focus the players on the point, and there's a lot of kills coming down for England. Only 4 Polish players alive. It's going to be slowly but surely they will get it. It's basically a wipe here, and they will get around.
Nice.
Forward it back 2-1.
The floodgates are open. I mean,
how dare us thinking that this was going to be one-sided?
I wasn't thinking that at all, honestly. I mean, the point is, right, like the first 10 minutes was just like back and forth. Neither team really couldn't do anything, and once they figured out the key to the success, they just start going in. I think the key to success for both of those teams is kind of the middle fight. Like once you stabilize yourself, once you get enough picks, you can keep the ball rolling, especially when you pick up the medic. And Mir and Kafka both are looking for that medic pickup. It's just so crucial there. No kills as of yet for either team, but Chipper finally going down. But here comes the stab by Raylan, and Show is down for the count, which means the Polish team is without a heals. It's just so bad. And of course, Barth is going to lose out this engagement in the middle with that Tomislav. He's not going to be able to outgun middle with the regular minigun here. BB on the side. He's so low, but he's going to survive this one, but barely. And he knows he's just so screwed right now. Might as well just go and commit, die, thanks to Grip's help. But the overcharge heavily in favor of Layla. They're already on the second point. They have their players up, and Show just needs to start building Uber stat, because otherwise we're just going to have repeat from the last round here, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, it's carbon copy. I mean, we've seen 2 mid-fights from Poland looking exactly the same, 2 from England, and England seem to have cracked the code here. They know getting aggressive and getting in the faces, and Raylan with the huge opening pick, getting the medic, has just kind of made that work. If you get the heals off the field, and in comes the Uber from River, it's going to be Loopy and Joe to try and get some damage down. There's 3 Poland players already down, but Loopy will get picked off, as does Joe. Raylan's going to get another kill on the medic. This time it's going to be a shank. Only 3 players left alive for Poland. They are not very healthy. They have no heals to work with, and this is surely just going to be a collapse from England onto the point. They square it up at 2-2, and Poland now maybe feeling a little bit nervous, thinking things were going really, really well for us. And within a few minutes, England have turned things on its head, and Poland need to start thinking, what are we going to do differently on mid?
Yeah, they definitely need to start paying attention to mid fights a little bit more because they lose the entire team on the mid fight, and then Layla has 100% show goes down, which means they have Nuber to defend with on last, and it's just basically a carbon copy repeat from the last round. They just managed to get themselves 2 points and put themselves back on the board. But we're back to the middle fight once again, and it's just going to be a bunch of damage every turn by both teams, really. Comes Loopy with Mir on the sideline, just looking for some pickups here. A lot of damage being exchanged. Stan just getting blasted away. Turcha just gonna try to reflect, and he does get a great reflect on the Mir, but it looks like we just have a complete reverse Uno card here with the entire team of England getting completely wiped off the face of the earth, and Poland just basically only losing a spy, which at this point is nothing. They're already going on to last. They're gonna put probably a scout on the second, just make sure that it starts ticking, and they have that 100%. They're gonna be able to. Layla gets a body shot there. Oh no, she gets another instinct, and just filthy looking in and just taking the kill. But Raylan gets a drop onto show, and that's absolutely massive from the spy from England, and it's just gonna be anybody's game at this point. Poland will just kind of try to throw their players on the point, but just so many players alive now for the English team. They're gonna be able to secure this, and they do. I am done. I'm done.
Okay, let's have a think, shall we? I mean, that mid fight from Poland was really well coordinated. BB just ran across the point, gets a lot of damage onto Joe, and then Joe has to back up, and it's almost like everyone backed up with Joe, and then just there was a massive collapse from Poland. They were like, okay, send in Stan, send in Kavka, but both medics going down almost simultaneously there. Obviously much more detrimental for Poland because now they've lost that second point. They have to back up. They're playing on mid. It is essentially equal Ubers, but actually a 20% advantage for Layla because she died earlier, and Rayla gets the backstab onto Stan, but Chupa gets the backstab onto Joe. So it's just DM right now. This is just let's fight it out and see what happens. Mir's going to take down Kavka. Stinger takes him down in response. England are somehow only 4 players alive now.
Yeah,
what happened?
And they just keep bleeding players one by one. I mean, the pick classes here, Sting and Trooper, just making sure that like Joe does not survive. Joe hasn't really left the front gate of the middle of the last point once in the past 2 minutes because Trooper's just been on his case this entire time, and then Sting and just winning those duels with Cloudy or just picking up the players on the side. It just works out for them. Now both medics have 100%, both are fully healed up, both of the 4 roster too. Trooper's just waiting there. Just kind of feel like, what do we do? Just we wait for someone to come in. Maybe someone will come in. Maybe no one will. We don't know. Joe very close to it. He's gonna get blown away as Stan gets to Joe. That's a huge pickup. The Uber's coming out on both sides. Garrick is still working on that level 2 sentry. It's not gonna be enough though. Stan's gonna get stabbed there, but there's a lot of players down to the side of red. Grip is on the point with Layla. Layla's gonna get mowed down by Bart. Bart, a huge play here, and the Polish team clutches themselves a nice win, and I think it was just because Joe was a little bit too curious in that river area.
Yeah, I mean, Joe going down there is huge. Stinger gets the opening snipe onto Cloudy as well, so Joe and Cloudy out of that entire defense. But it all just kind of fell apart when the Ubers were exchanged, and Layla just seemed to be running around. She didn't have anyone to Uber. All of the players you would want to Uber were dying without a flash, and Poland had a bunch of players going underneath, and Stan gets a really early kill onto Joe, hitting those pipes. Oh no, it's not looking good for England. Layla goes down to her headshot. She took a bunch of damage and then just gets domed. It's 5 down now for England. The rest of the players have backed up. Poland walking forward into big door already. They haven't lost a single player. It's only 3 now. Karik, Cloudy and Raylin are the only players left alive on England. The respawns come in, but it's looking like Poland, like the first couple of rounds, winning that mid-fight very, very strongly with an Uber advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, they have that Uber advantage. They have all the players in play right now. Raylan is looking at some players. He's just relaying all this information where the players are. They're deciding to go river here. He decloaks as a scout. He's looking for some pickup. He may be able to get Doom. No, Doom just turns around just in case. He does take down Raylan. Trooper going on the point, gets a stab onto Joe, and once again, it's just Poland's playground here. There's just so much death going on. Middle going absolutely massive there, surviving so much, but there's Bart on the back line. He's gonna get a cap on the point. No, that's not how you do it in this 4-2-2 on Gollywash with English team on their backside, taking in punches from the Polish team, and there are, well, if their last really, I believe it's best of 5 or best of 3, CeeJaey, because that depends on how much of a dire situation they are.
It's a win difference of 5, so England need 7 essentially to win it from this point. England right now, with less than 10 minutes to go, will just be looking to get themselves back into this, because so far the mid-fights have not been good. And once again, Joe dying very early on. Mir, Grip, Loopy, Karik, Cloudy, they're all dying. Middle is still alive, but not for long. He goes down as well. Poland have not lost a single player. Layla dying to BB on the chase. And because of the fact that she died later, she has a much longer respawn. 15 seconds left before she's back in the action. And you know what? There's some players who I feel did really well on that last point for England. And Raylan go for the drop stab. Almost getting somebody, but not quite. Layla's just respawned now. Enough time to get some buffs, but Sand's taken down middle. Poland just about getting that Uber. I think they're going to have to hope for a drop out of Gio or something.
Yeah, they definitely need to get some kind of a play going, because there's so many players dead for the side of red here. Level Sentry 1 on the point. Stan is taking and working on way on it now, just putting a lot of stickies. It's just going to be like that. It's just going to take this point 5-2. The gap is widening for England to catch up. And this is, after all, Polish mapping. They know what they're doing. And England, after losing on Vigil, they are not looking too hot right now, CeeJaey. And I'm not sure it's just going to come home this time, but I may eat my words just yet. We still have enough time to get this one sorted. We're looking at both demos rolling out here. Stan getting really quickly to middle, but so is Joe. Nicely done. Is taking a lot of damage on the flank as well from Kafka. Tercha coming in to support, and looks like, well, both teams still healthy and alive. Layla quite wide open, and looking for her is Stingen. That was the major problem. Layla going down so early is just so massive for the Polish team, CeeJaey.
It is. I mean, they're going to get cleaned up. It's a full wipe. They basically trade Bath is there for a complete wipe, and you can't be losing your medic that early on. Before it was, you know, other key classes going down very, very early on, but Poland at the moment are getting these opening picks, and it's oh no, Stinger just peeks and gets Layla.
Look at Trooper, CeeJaey, look at Trooper, what is he doing? The team has finally realized what's going on. He got the cap so close.
The Uber comes in onto BB. He's just going through main. I'm not sure what to say at this point. It's actually 4v4 right now. 4v3, 3v3. In comes Gio. He's going to try and cap the point. He's walking on the point. No! Is he going to get the cap? No. They're trying to take him down eventually. He actually takes down Grip with the arrows. He almost gets it. Okay.
Look at Bart now.
Look at Bart. I was going to say Uber advantage for England, but Stingen gets his third kill of this round alone onto Layla. And now England have to back up. Barthes is going to go for the point this time. He's going to be boxing Karik. He doesn't manage to do it. Karik gets the fist out. He's going to say, no, my fist is stronger than yours, my friend. This is really, really rough for England right now. They need to regroup. They've managed to get the second point, but Poland right now are just toying with them. There's less than 7 minutes to go. This is still entirely doable for England to get back into this. We saw some really fast rounds. They got 2 rounds within the space of about 3 minutes. After the first couple of rounds went Poland's way, and now they're pushing in through choke already. Look at the aggression from Joe. He's just jumped up there with Grip. In comes Kafka. Someone needs to deny him, and middle is the man to do it. England capping mid now. They don't have an Uber advantage, but this is possible, Jake. It's not over yet.
Absolutely not. They're still fighting for this. They're still gritting their teeth and just going in forward. Joe is just getting slowly whittled down on the flank. He's going to survive, though. BB's coming on the back line, but he's getting called out. The middle comes in. The heavy weapons guy he is takes down the pesky scout, and now Joe and EFC healed up and ready to go. He's gonna walk a bit forward. Raylan here kind of like just walking next to Trooper and just kind of bumping into, just like not really understanding what is going on right now. Trooper there. Raylan's going on to last. He's gonna try to sneak in maybe a stab or two, maybe a cap or two. We don't know yet, but Stan is in the river protecting. He's gonna throw so many sticks into this middle choke point, but it's a counter pop going on. Jones so low on HP, needs to get away from this, and so does Loopy. Layla's just saving everyone, focusing on that, and Polish team is looking very healthy right now, so they're gonna kind of capitalize on this and go forward, but at least what they can do is stabilize on the last point with their team. Coming in Loopy, he's gonna take down Doom. That's a big pickup, but he gets cleaned up himself by Stan, and once again the entire Layla team, or Fela team, Layla? English team coming in on from the river. Middle's there, but he's gonna get picked up here by Tercho. Nicely done, and right now it seems that Poland's managing to put a foothold. Park the bus, as we like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, BB getting a couple of kills there. Grip, Joe, and Middle are down. That's the entire combo, so You might think Poland might want to edge it out here. I mean, 5 minutes to go. If you're a neutral, you probably want to see a third map. If you're an England fan, you're probably thinking, okay, there's still a chance. England have got Poland pegged back to their last point. Let's clarify here. If Poland win this map, they will take it 2 maps to 0 and be back in for their second successive final, awaiting the winner of Germany versus Russia. England need to get 3 rounds on Gully Wash to force it to upward in order to stay in the competition. We're going to see an Uber trade here on Shutter. We're seeing Tercio pushing people away. Grip is also doing his fair share of air blasting, and actually Joe is going to, because of that, get a kill onto Stan. Stinger also goes down. There's a lot of pressure. Massive kills from Loopy and a huge bomb from Grip. It's absolutely collapsing. Chupa's the only person trying to defend the point. It's not going to be enough. He can't have a spy defending the point, Jake. 5-3 now. 2 rounds in it. 4 minutes to go. We're not over yet.
I am just spent right now. I think, CeeJaey, this is crazy. I still think that England can definitely clinch themselves 2 more points, forcing the last golden cap of
this mid-fight's
Wash.
crucial, right? This is huge.
It is absolutely the most important, and well, playing from 2 points behind is just not a comfortable situation to be in, but they just have to do everything in their power, and Loopy's on the point already, putting some pellets to the enemies. The entire Polish team moving in through Banana, walking forward, Shows taking quite a bit of damage for his trouble, and Layla's on the point right now. They're capping. Mir's coming in, 30 HP Warrior, but he's gonna survive. Stan is low on health, however. 3 players up for the red team. Layla's gonna go down, and the entire team goes down once again. Complete white mop the entire map away from the English team, and Poland has the Uber advantage. They have the players. Kafka's already going on to last, probably hoping to cause some trouble. I don't think they know. They realize Kafka picks up Keurig, and that's a good pickup in my opinion, because losing Engineer on last is just so crucial to delay those sentries, and yeah, it's just gonna be so difficult for England to stabilize. But Cloudy's there. He looks at the medic. Oh! They just don't realize this, and Show goes down.
Cannot underestimate these big players in the big moments. England already pushing out onto second here. They have an Uber advantage. There's a lot of players down for Poland right now. Doom goes down into that respawn queue as well. Bart, Gio, and Sting and all dead as well. And Raiden, running the Ambassador, gets a nice cheeky little headshot onto BB there. And England are already capping mid. If they push this all the way to last with this Uber advantage, then we're going to come down to essentially a golden cap to see if this game is going to be all over. Kafka goes in for the bomb, doesn't get Layla, she's weak. Doom's lurking close, he's gonna get cleaned up. Loopy is the cleanup crew right now. Barth is trying to be the anti-aircraft gun. It's like, okay, you know what, I can't deal with an entire team, boys, let's back it up. England, 2 minutes left on the clock. This is speedrun time now, Jake.
They need to get this one home right now, because Show only has 60%. They need to use it. Oh, Trooper comes in just a second too late. The Uber's coming out again, pushed away by Tercio. Tercio getting mowed down by middle. Great play by the Heavy Hunter. But the point is just getting completely unguarded. And now it's 5-4. Only 1 point difference and not a lot of time left. Can England clinch this?
I can't believe this is happening right now. It looked like it was done. It looked like England were dead and buried. But Poland bleeding 2 rounds here. England just showing what a dominant force they can be on any map. Getting 2 rounds back within a few minutes. It's 5-4, everybody. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. This mid-fight is going to be it for England. They need to win it to take it to a third map. We're just seeing some aggression here from players. Kafka's going to get backstabbed there by Raylin. In comes Mir, in comes Stan. There's going to be lots of kills all over the place. England have lost 4, Poland have lost 4. Both medics are still alive. There is medical in the hands of both players, but Layla, no, has to back up. She's just got middle on the point. They're going to cap middle here, Jake. But it's only Layla and middle. The adventures of 2 English players against the rest of the Polish.
Oh no, Layla had to pop the Uber charge. She has no one to support her. She's being chased by the Spy. Spy gets headshot by Cloudy, but the time is running out. Poland is now capping middle. They're trying to make sure that it gets delayed. Uber charge coming out of Show. Great timing as well, protecting from the jumper classes here. And yeah, BB just kind of fighting on his own on the point. The point is not yet capped. It's being blocked by the English team, but they're wasting time at this point. They need to get something done. They lost too many players trying to defend this point, and now they only have 3 to work with. Layla on 24%, Show on 25%. It's basically anyone's game. They're gonna get those respawns in time, but it's all on Keurig to stay alive, get that sentry gun, and protect it from the point. But England needs to be offensive. Layla getting caught off guard in the lobby here. going down here. Mirror's just taking a few kills with Stan, however, on the offensive. Just so many kills being exchanged left and right. Look at this. Stan walks the point 2 times, 3 times, and there's not enough players, and Poland gets themselves a 6 point. I think this is all she wrote, CeeJaey.
Yeah, I mean, that's just salt into the wounds there. I'm gonna, in my head canon, when I look back on this match, it's a 5-4. That last round, it was dead time for the last 40 seconds or so. There was just GG's exchanged in chat after that kind of counter Uber coming in from CeeJaey. And wow, one of the most exciting games I've casted in a while. One of the best games we've seen in this tournament so far. Poland, the defending champions, pushed to the edge. And both maps went to the wire. I mean, 2-1 on Vigil and 6-4 on Gully Wash. I think everyone wanted a third map there just for the more entertainment that it could have provided. But England will be going into their second successive final. Jake, you can breathe. What are your first thoughts after seeing that?
I'm just really happy. Oh, unbiased opinion, by the way.
Unbiased opinion from our Polish caster on the Poland versus England game. Let's look at some numbers. Again, you can see the demos pumping out that damage. Stan and Joe at the top there. Stan just edging it out there by a decent amount, about 80 DPM difference between the two, about 2k damage. And Stan getting a few more kills. But when we look in terms of overall kills, in fact, at the top, I mean, not to say I told you so, but I did call out, BB and Loopy for potentially going huge in this game. BB there with the 38 kills, but Middle, actually, when I rank by kills on my screen, it says Middle is the top killer. He gets 38 as well. But on the losing team, manages to get over a kill a minute by quite a stretch. On the losing team, just, the only English player in the top 10 in terms of frags. So close game, Jake. But I think this is done. This is done. Okay.
Yeah.
This game is over. I want to talk about the future because we have another semi-final. We have Germany versus Russia. Both teams been doing well, but not maybe as dominant as these two teams. A lot of people saying the winner of this match is going to be the favorite for the final. If we have Russia in the final, it's a repeat of 2019 where we had Poland versus Russia. If we have Germany going through, then it's going to be two teams, or two nations, I should say, looking for their second title. We will be bringing you that game. I believe the game is coming within the next few days. That will be live on ChrisCast. I think it's going to be an absolute amazing game, and I'm looking forward to it.
But I think this is high time for both of us to start wrapping this up. Make sure to check us out on all the social media and stuff. That'll be it for me. My name has been Jake. Today with me was none other than CeeJaey, the man, the myth, the legend, and core, doing an excellent job. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in Germany versus Russia coming up soon.
Hi, old beaver! Away!